Hi friends, good morning. This is your Rima ma'am here. I shall be taking ahead your history lecture. And before starting up with the history lecture, I want to give you the glimpse that how the history subject is all about. We are not only going to study the history subject in a way of very old and in a very dimensional manner. However, I would like to enhance upon that how history has played a very vital role in understanding the economy of Indian environment. With a view to understand, I wanted to tell you the first chapter that we are going to study today is a historiography. That what is the development that we have undertaken in the western side. So before starting, I just wanted to give you a brief introduction. The historical research is done with an objective of understanding the chronology of the past events and their interconnections. Means whatever the history that we are going to study, it has been obviously be given by our historians. The very basic thing to understand the history that we have to understand the what is the chronology, what is the events that we are undertaking, whatever the sequences and whatever the events which has happened from the past, present, in the future, and what is going to happen. It is all interconnected. Historical events cannot be recreated. You cannot certainly recreate the historical events. Whatever it has happened, it has happened. Our archaeologists and historians, whatever they had done, it has been always done. There are certain disciplines. You have to understand certain disciplines in order to do the historical research, which is very useful. The first one is an archival science, that you have to understand the scientific method of understanding the history in the archival way. Archaeology. Archaeology means archaeologists, who are the ones who try to research about the history. The third one is the manuscriptology. That whatever the statues, whatever the miniatures you see, whenever you go to any place, historical place, and whatever you see in terms of the miniature and sculptures, that is known as the manuscriptology. Epigraphy, that you have to understand the script of the inscriptions, which has been written in a very small format. Linguistics. Linguistic means language. You have to understand the language, that how it has been useful to us. Genealogy and the numismatics. It is also in a genealogical method and also in the numerical method. So these are the various disciplines in which historical research are very useful. Let us try and understand the historiography in two manners. We are going to study this history in two manners. The first one is the tradition, the second one is in the terms of the scientific. Let's try and understand that what is in the tradition manner. The writing of the critical historical narrative is known as a historiography. That is the basic thing and it is the one of the best punchline. The writing of the critical historical narrative, our historians, our scholars, notable scholars, whosoever has written the narration, it is known as a historiography. Scholar who writes this narrative is also known as a historian. They include and interpret historical events by the historians, which often depends on the conceptual framework which is adopted by him. Scholars and the historians, they are one and the same people. Whatever way they do the history, there are certain conceptual framework which they undertake and it has been always adopted by them. Ancestors, what do you understand by ancestors? Our forefathers. Our forefathers had also done certain amount of historical research in the means like cave painting, storytelling, singing, songs, and this all things has thus impacted in the upcoming generations to the next generation. Whatever the stories I will be telling, the same stories my children, their children, they all be repeating. So you are the one who is kind of providing an information of the history to the generations and generations. They are also looked upon as the sources of history in modern historiography. It is not only about whatever you are studying and you are writing or you are reading the books, also whatever you hear from our grandmother or grandfather, that is also one of the most important thing in history. Since we had studied the tradition historiography, let's try and understand what is the modern historiography. In this one, I had developed on the parameter of the characteristics. There are four main characteristics of the modern historiography. The first one is it is completely based on the scientific principles. Tradition methods always been used in the old historiography, but if you talk about the modern historiography, it means it is completely based on scientific principles, which it begins with the formation of relevant questions. Questions are anthropocentric, that is, it does not suggest any interrelation between divine and human needs. Nowadays, since science has developed, so does in understanding the history also, these things has played a very pivotal role. This modern historiography does tell us that there is no interrelation between the divine and the human needs. You get an answer to these questions which is supported by reliable evidence. Even my children, they keep on asking me, okay, why mother, that this things is not happening. I cannot come up with the prejudice of telling them it is completely on the basis of the traditional method. It has to be provided with certain evidence that has to be reliable. And you need to present a graph of mankind journey with help of the past human beings. So there is certain development of scientific perspective which has happened in Europe. The possibility of studying historical truths by applying scientific methods, and also it is completely based on the discussion on the objectivity, and it is also based on the historiography. Our notable scholars are René Descartes, Voltaire, George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, Leopold von Ranke, Karl Marx, and Michael Foucault. These people, these people has done a tremendous contribution in making our history to be one of the remarkable one. If you have to see each and every scholars in a described manner, the first one we see Mr. René Descartes. He has certainly written a book that is known as a discourse on method. The punchline of this book is never to accept anything for true till all grounds of doubts are excluded. Does imply this thing in your real life as well. Whenever you are in any sort of doubts or in any sort of dilemma, always make understand that whatever your doubts are there, you clarify and then only accept the truth. The second one is Mr. Voltaire. He is the founder of the modern historiography. He has opined that along with objectivity and chronology, social traditions, trade, economic culture, even these things also plays a very important role in making the historiography in a very complete formation. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. He has made certain publications, that is Encyclopedia of Philosophical Sciences and also What is the Reason in History. His opinion stands out that historical reality to be present logically. There is nothing as such you can present in illogical manner. Always it has to be present in a very logical manner. There are certain timelines of each and every event, so which indicates the progress, that how it is to be developed. The presentation of history has to be go along with the new evidence, and it should not be of lesser quality. Mr. Leopold von Ranke, he has written two collections. He has published two books. That is, the first one is the theory and practice of history, and the second one is a secret of old history. His opinion was completely based on the emphasis that what is the information that you are gathering, it has to give some original concrete information which has to be mentioned in the original documents. They also criticize imaginative narration of history. It does happen in the old times of history. There has been a lot of imagination which keeps on going. And that imagination has come up into history, making of history. He has completely told that if at all you are forming an opinion, you don't have to apply imaginative narration of history. Mr. Karl Marx has written a book which is known as Das Kapital. His opinions was completely based on the human relationships, which needs to be reluctant on the fundamental needs of people, of their ownership, as well as the nature means of production. He has classified into the class struggles as the class that owns the means of production economically exploit the rest. Upper class, middle class, lower class. It does become upper class people who are rich. They try to surpass the lower class and the middle class people in the form of the taxation. Mr. Michael Foucault has written a book that is a book Archaeology of Knowledge. His opinion was arranging historical events in chronology is not always right. Archaeology does not strive to reach to an ultimate historical truth, but it also attempts to explain transitions in the past. And the philosophical disorders, science of medicine, present administration should be subject to only historical analysis. These three things, the psychological disorders, science of medicine, and the present administration, should be only and only be implemented and subjected to only historical analysis, not apart from that. And apart from notable scholars, they also ensure that history is not only about politics, diplomacy, and wars, but it is also about the climate, local people, agriculture. You need to understand all the parameters which makes the history in a very complete format. Also, there is one more historiography which is known as a feminist historiography, that is all about the restructuring history from the perspective of woman. It has been always a history that woman has never been taken into consideration. However, we have to change our perception. Simon D. Beauvoir helped in establishing the fundamentals of feminism. Thank you so much.